Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope all you lovely ladies and lovely gents out there are doing amazing. I hope you're having an amazing week so far. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I am currently moving, but I still wanted to make sure that I give you guys all the readings that are necessary. So you guys, today's reading is all about messages from the universe, messages that the universe wants you to hear right now. So as usual, I have 5 groups prepared for you and I want you to pick one of the 5 groups intuitively. As usual, if you feel drawn to 2 readings, feel free to tune into 2 readings because your personal reading may be a mixture between the 2. And also, if you're new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe so you never miss a reading that is important for you. So you guys, the timestamps are all down below in the description box, as well as heaps of other stuff, including this hair if you're interested in it. And no, this is not sponsored. I just want to be transparent with you guys because I've gotten a lot of questions about the hair. And also my course Master Mindfulness can be found down below, as well as my blog's website. Make sure you sign up to that newsletter. So yeah, guys, I want to keep the intro very short and to the point. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and did I already mention to subscribe to my channel to not miss any future readings? So yeah, you guys, let's get straight into the readings. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's reading, we have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, group number 4, and group number 5. So I would like you to pick one of the 5 groups intuitively. If you just want to meditate on the cards for a minute in order to make your decision, feel free to pause the video right here. Otherwise, I'm going to get straight into the messages from the universe with a group number 1. Alright, group number 1, let's see what sort of messages the universe is trying to send to you. Alright, so first up we have transformation. So it's very clear that the universe definitely wants you to know that things are going to be transforming in your life, or should be transforming in your life, and it's important for you to let it happen because change is the only constant in life. Change is the only thing that keeps life interesting, and change is also responsible for, evolution and progress. So I want you to keep that at the back of your mind. Well, no, actually I want you to keep this at the forefront. That change eventually results in progress, and progress is something that you definitely want in your life. So in the rutilated quartz, I can see that one thing where change is required is in your home first and foremost. So I definitely see that maybe you're not 100% happy with the setup that you have at home, with how things are, the sort of energy, and just simply rearranging your room, rearranging your apartment can make a big difference and can really change how the energy and vibrations flow through where it is that you spend a lot of your time and maybe most of your time. And another area where the universe wants you to implement change is in business. So I definitely see that maybe you need a change of occupation, or maybe you just need a change of how you see your occupation or how you do your occupation. So if you definitely feel like the job you're doing is literally just to pay your bills, but that right now you just do not have a choice, you have to continue doing what you need to do in order to put a roof over your head, make sure that you focus on making your home a very sacred place, a place that you love to be in, and a place where you can recharge. And also make sure that the mindset that you have towards business, the mindset that you have towards making money, I see that the universe wants you to transform that mindset into something probably more progressive and more open-minded than it's been so far. So if you've so far felt like business needs to be done a certain way, or there's only a certain sort of path that you can take in order to be successful or in order to get where you want to be, I really want you to reconsider, as the universe feels like it is time for transformation in both your home and your place of work. Then I also see that you need to remember that it is important for you to be one with nature. It's important for you to sort of get to the root of humanity sometimes, sort of get to the root of the fact that us living beings, what we truly connect with is not the concrete jungle that we live in, is not the electronics that we have in our life. They help us to do different things that we weren't able to do beforehand, and they make life a lot easier. But at the same time, you need to know that getting out into the nature and just feeling your feet on the grass, feeling your feet on the ground without any shoes, without anything to part you from the energy of the earth. That is something that is of great importance, and that is something that can help you sort of connect with who you are as a human being and connect with your deepest self, and sort of let you put aside all of these electronics, all of these devices that, in the end, they also suck a lot of energy out of us. They also steal a lot of our time. So I want you to know that it's more beneficial for you to be one with nature and the earth than it is for you to be, one with sort of technology and this hustle and bustle of life as it is for many of us right now. And the universe also would like you to know that it is essential for you to bring more energy and intention to your faith, to transform a lot of the energy that you're putting out into the world into, just putting that energy into spirituality, because that will let you become more fearless and free. Because when you put a lot of energy into, say, how you look or your public appearance, or just, things that are really a little bit more superficial than they are deep, then you risk not sort of being free. You risk constantly being afraid of humiliation. You constantly are afraid of failure and of how that will make you appear. But once you really notice that what matters is what's inside, and what matters is how strong you are on a mental and spiritual level, is when you become a lot more free. And it's a freedom that cannot be described, it must be experienced, and the universe is urging you to experience this firsthand. So those are the messages that I received for group number 1 from the universe. Alright, group number 2, let's see what the universe is trying to say to you right now. So first up, we have to fill up your well. So this definitely tells me that maybe you've been working, overtime, you've been working really long shifts, really long hours, or you've just sort of been exhausting yourself emotionally, and the universe wants you to know first and foremost that this reading urges you to retreat, rest, and refuel, because it is so easy to sort of get burnt out or to reach a point where you've hit rock bottom, and you do not want to let yourself get to that point physically or emotionally, just because that is when your body basically surrenders and says, I give up. So do not let that happen, and know that the universe wants to guide you to fill up your well and fill up on emotional well-being before you make any further moves in your life right now. So then we have the blue calcite as well as the fluorite. So the universe definitely feels like what would help you retreat and what would help you really refuel your energy is communication, and making sure that communication doesn't cause you too much of a loss of energy. So, when you're in a relationship or a friendship, or even just, speaking to someone who is close to you, sometimes communicating with them can be exhausting. And that is not necessarily because of them, but it's just because of the way you choose to communicate. So I see that the universe wants you to focus on how you communicate, and if there are ways that you can better communicate in order for everybody to sort of understand you a lot easier, because it's so easy to feel misunderstood, but at the same time, as human beings, it is very easy to say, I'm misunderstood, and, other people need to change how they perceive my words and how they perceive how I communicate. But you can aid the situation. You can help, move the situation along quicker with less resistance by you just truly putting thought into how you can communicate in a more efficient way without hurting anyone's feelings or, pissing anyone off, but at the same time bringing your point across, in a strong and yet sort of peaceful, calm way. And in the fluorite, I definitely see that the universe wants you to know that your spirit guides are here to, help you along the way and really help you in the progress of surrendering in order to experience greatness. So as soon as you sort of surrender all of your wants and needs, as soon as you sort of surrender yourself to the universe and just basically let the universe use you, let the universe work its magic in your life without trying to manipulate things or change things, that is when miracles start to happen, and that is when your spirit guides start to show up in your life and they start to feel welcomed, and you will get sort of messages and signs of what the next steps are, and you will feel a lot more guided in your life. So I want you to be weary of not manipulating situations, and to make sure that you do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. So why you need to fill up your well is probably because you haven't been living in a very mindful manner, because you haven't been living the moment as much as you should, because I want you to remember you only have one life. You only have one chance to live in the moment and experience all the emotions and everything that life has to offer. So the universe wants you to say, I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness and to practice it. So group number 2, I see that it is essential for you to take a step back in order to focus on being mindful, or else life will just pass you by, and before you know it, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years have gone by, and you will think, where the heck was I? But there is a reason why you tuned into this reading, and it is because your spirit guides have brought you to this point and have brought you to this reading in order to tell you all of these things. So group number 2, that is the message that I get from the universe for you. Okay, group number 3, let's see what the universe has to say to you right now. Alright, so we are starting off with the age of light. So the universe definitely wants you to know that this is the age of light for you. This is the time for you to shine. It's time for you to live your best life. Come out of the shadows that you've been hiding under. So maybe you've sort of been in the shadows of somebody in your family. Maybe you've sort of been just hiding in the shadows just because you feel like you don't belong with all of the people who are living their best lives. Maybe you feel like you're somehow, you're not worthy of being that person that you admire. So the universe is here to tell you that you have been training to do whatever it is that you want to do in this lifetime. You have been pre-selected to do whatever it is that feels right for you to be doing in this lifetime, and it's important for you to shine and to not let everyone else sort of, take your thunder, and not sort of be like a bird in a cage where you're looking out, you see everybody else flying, everyone else having a great time. Meanwhile, you're in the cage. So I want you to know that you can open up that cage. The universe wants you to know that you have the key to your own cage. It needs a lot of strength and courage in order to open up the cage, so to say, and to take the leap of faith and fly alongside everyone else. So moving on, the universe wants you to know that happiness is indeed your birthright. So I don't know why in this day and age it's so hard to somehow feel like you're allowed to be happy. It always seems like, you need permission to be happy. You need permission to say, no, you know what, actually life is great. Actually I'm happy. Actually everything is going great. And I want you to not feel that way, and I want you to know that it is fine for you to just accept compliments. It is completely fine for you to be happy, even if someone else chooses not to be happy. So if there is somebody in your life who is maybe a little bit of a Debbie Downer, that does not mean that you need to stop being happy. That does not mean that you need to bring your vibrational level down to theirs. I want you to know that the universe is sending you happiness, is sending you confidence to just go through life being happy no matter how anyone else wants to feel. And also, I want you to keep in mind that obstacles are detours in the right direction. So obstacles are always there for a reason. There's always a reason why an obstacle is an obstacle to you. What is an obstacle to you does not mean that that same thing is an obstacle to somebody else. So there is always meaning in obstacles, and obstacles do not slow you down. They are here in order to test you. They're here for you to overcome them so that you're ready for the next step, if you know what I mean. So I know this sounds really silly, but do you remember like the video games like the Super Mario and stuff? They're obstacles in the way. If you do not learn to overcome those obstacles, you can't move on to the next level, to the next stage. And even if you were to go around the obstacles and move to the next levels, you would not have the skill set or the knowledge to be on that level yet. So I want you to remember that that applies to life, silly as it sounds, but it is logical, it makes sense. Then we have the chastolite as well as the tourmaline. So what I see is that past loved ones are here to tell you that happiness is your right. Do not let anyone feed off of your happiness. Do not let anyone sort of make you feel like you should not be happy just because they aren't. So I definitely see that, you know, past loved ones coming up in this reading and you sort of being in this age of light, they are trying to reinforce you being positive, being that ray of light, and living your best life. In the tourmaline, I see that smudging is something that may be beneficial. So if you sort of feel like your energy is a little bit tainted, or you feel like your energy is not as pure as you would like it to be, just get yourself a little incense stick, get yourself a little bit of sage, whatever it is that you want to do, and just cleanse your space. Just cleanse your space internally, cleanse your space physically. Make sure that your life is as clutter-free as possible, as I can see that that is something that will help you move forward and that will help you sort of feel a lot lighter and more vibrant in your life. So that is the reading that I get for group number 3 from the universe. All right, group number 4, let's see what the universe has to say to you right now. So first off, the universe wants you to answer the call. So the universe tells me that you have had a calling recently. There is something calling to your soul that you're supposed to be doing, and it's important for you to answer the call, and it's important for you to really sit down with yourself and take time to think about what it is that you are meant to do and what it is that you've sort of been putting off. So I see that there is something that you have been putting on the back burner for a while that you haven't been focused on, and maybe you've been making excuses saying you're too busy with work, or you're just too busy with your current day job, with your education, that you are unable to do this. So I want you to know that the universe wants you to answer this call, and it could be something like creating a blog, writing a song, you know, changing your job, or creating your own business. And the universe wants you to answer the calling that you feel is in your life, and to make sure that you do what you've always wanted to do. You know, don't put it on the back burner. You know, what are you waiting for? And one thing that the universe tells me here is that you will be thankful to the universe for helping you see beyond fear. You will be thankful to the universe for expanding your perception so that you can see what is of the highest good. So I definitely see you answering that call. And if you have not answered the call, make sure that you take action now, as the universe is already communicating that this will be a very positive endeavor to you. And what is also essential is that you surrender to any sort of outcome, because that way you can let the universe truly get to work. So with that, I mean that if you, for instance, want to start a blog, and you know, you start answering the call, you start writing your blog posts, and you run into an obstacle. I see that regardless of running into an obstacle or not, you will be thankful that you have even gotten to this spot. You will be so thankful that you let yourself get over this fear and that you let the universe guide you. So I definitely want you to know that it is essential for you to embrace your inner peace, to not beat yourself up about not having answered your inner call earlier, because I know that once you start doing what you feel like you've always wanted to do, you'll think to yourself, why didn't I start doing this earlier? And you know, of course you can ask yourself that and you can beat yourself up about it, but at the end of the day, is that going to have a positive effect on your now? Is that going to have a positive effect on your work? No. So it's important for you to surrender to what is in the now and just let the universe get to work. Then we have the lepidolite as well as the iolite. So one thing that the universe wants you to do is to trust. So the lepidolite connects to the third eye and the crown chakras. So I want you to know that you have to sort of allow that sixth sense of yours to just work its magic. You need to trust that your intuition is going to guide you in the right direction, and you need to trust that answering this call is not going to be a complete flop. So that is always one of the most difficult things when you're trying something new, when you're getting out of your comfort zone. Just trusting that, you know, you're not going to completely embarrass yourself or waste your time. So the universe wants you to know that no time is wasted. Everything is always, you know, you learning. So maybe you start that new endeavor and then you notice that it isn't really for you. But in the process of noticing that, you sort of figure out new strengths of yours, and that will then, you know, continue to lead you in the direction that you're supposed to be in. But if you never answer the call, you know, you'll never take those steps to truly finding what it is that you are meant to be doing. And in the Iolite, I see that your family is of a lot of importance right now, and I see that maybe they have somehow been trying to reach you, somehow been trying to get closer to you, and I feel like maybe you've been pushing them away a little bit, or you haven't been letting them in as much as you could. So I want you to also accept and answer their call, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, you know, speaking to them about certain topics for whatever reason. You know, maybe you're embarrassed, or you do not really want to tell them how you're feeling at this moment. But I want you to remember that family is accepting, and family can also be friends. So if you're going through a tough time and you feel like you haven't been speaking to anybody, or you feel like you cannot speak to people, you know, if you don't try, you'll never know. The worst thing that can happen is that the person does not react, you know, very supportively, but then you know for sure that that is not really the person that you can ever go to ever again. That is maybe not the person that you want to continue wasting your time on. So make sure that you listen to your soul, and maybe your soul is pushing you towards speaking to somebody who is going to react in a way that you never expected, both positive and negative, and that will then help you to make a decision on that particular relationship in your life, and whether you want to continue on with it, or whether it is really just one more thing that is holding you back from your inner calling. So that is the reading that I get for group number 4 from the universe. Alright, so we've got group number 5. Let's see what the universe has to say to you right now. So first off, the universe is basing your reading on the fact that you have been dimming your light in order to fit in one way or another, and the universe does not want you to continue dimming your light to fit in. So the universe wants you to know that you have been created to be this person for a reason, and you need to embrace who you are. So if you've been trying to fit in, if you've been trying to wear the same clothes, do your makeup the same way, your hair the same way, you know, be in a cool sort of job in order to fit in, or in order to somehow be what society claims to be attractive, you need to stop doing that right now, okay? The universe is urging you not to do that, for which reasons we will see shortly in the rest of your readings. But I just want you to know that if you, for instance, don't want to shave your legs or your armpits, or you don't want to partake in certain social activities like drinking, or, you know, doing other drugs, or you just don't want to be a part of sort of like a group that's constantly speaking about negative things, the universe is telling you not to be a part of that. Do not try and be okay with things that you're not really comfortable with just to fit into a group, or to fit into a certain standard that society has set for you. So the universe wants you to know furthermore that when you're in alignment with love, when you're in alignment with the love of the universe, peace can't be disrupted. So what does that mean? The universe is trying to tell you that when you're in alignment with what love truly is, and you have that deep spiritual connection, the reason why it cannot be disrupted is because you do not let it be disrupted. And I want you to know that the same goes for you. So if you're in alignment with who you are as a person, and you're in alignment with self-love, and that is something that you're truly practicing and that you truly let yourself feel, that cannot be disrupted by anybody. So I want you to put an emphasis on practicing self-love and making sure that you love yourself for who you are uniquely, without trying to sort of appropriate any side of yourself in order to fit into a group or a society, or even to please your family or friends. It is more important for you to get to a place where you are in fact the loving energy of the universe, where you become just loving and accepting energy, and you do not let any sort of lower vibration or any sort of energy from elsewhere affect your energy. So I want you to protect your energy. I want you to know that what often causes you to fit in instead of just shine your light is the fact that your energy is being robbed in some way, shape, or form. So I do not want you to let that happen anymore. I want you to remain confident, as well as remain very loving towards yourself, and know that there is no reason to dim your light in order to please other people. Because if you feel like you need to dim your light or change who you are in order to please somebody else, that says a lot about that person, not you. That says that that person has issues with themselves, because they cannot accept somebody for who they are. So they probably cannot accept themselves for who they are either. So I want you to know that if it's either, a society, a group of people, one person that you feel you need to dim your light with or be different around, just to, not alienate them and to sort of please them, know that the problem does not lie with you, but the problem lies with them. So be yourself, and if they have an issue with it, they need to take that up with themselves internally. So next up we have the clear quartz as well as the bloodstone. So as I already briefly touched upon, if somebody has an issue with who you are as a person, with who you are when you're shining your light, I see that, detoxing from them is of the uttermost importance to you. So it is essential for you to right now remove yourself from any situations that make you feel uncomfortable being yourself. So if that is dating, if that is being with a specific person, if that is being on social media that makes you feel uncomfortable and insecure about yourself, it is important for you to sort of eliminate those factors in order for you to truly meditate and come to a point of just being very clear-headed and clairvoyant, so to say. So I want you to make use of the fact that the clear quartz did show up in your reading, as well as the bloodstone, which, together makes a very powerful combination and also sends a very powerful message to you, which is urging you to sort of detox from anything that makes you feel negatively about yourself. So stay off social media, stay off Instagram, stay away from the people who make you feel self-conscious, at least until you've meditated on it and you've sort of started to regain the confidence to just let your light shine. And if you do go, back into social media, back to that group of people or that person that made you feel insecure or like you could not shine your light around them, make sure that as soon as you feel like you're dimming down again, just detox, take yourself away from the situation, and stay away from the situation until you are 100% sure that you are not dimming yourself whatsoever in order to be a part of a specific situation. So the universe wants you to be happy and wants you to shine your light. Therefore, these are the messages that the universe is sending to group number 5.